All right, all right, all right.
We're both wearing yellow. What's up with that?
For very different reasons, though.
Yeah, screw the Brewers. I don't even want to talk about that. Let's just move on. Yeah, I mean they're hot right now.
They
You
are.
know,
They really are.
unfortunately, it's not playoff time, so we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. But they are banging it. What, they scored 12 runs today again? I mean,
I didn't even see the score. I just knew they won their 12th game, so everybody in Milwaukee gets free George Webb hamburgers.
that's what I heard. Yeah, too bad we don't live anywhere near George Webb, because that sounds like a good deal. I wish it was free Portillo's.
There you go.
I'd drive there for that. Well, yo, YouTube back with the live Wednesday, every Wednesday, except for during the National because we got too tired. 8 Central Standard Time. Thanks for joining us. Participate in the chat. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. If you're watching this recorded, like I said, we're live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Try to catch us live when you can. I wanted to talk about a few things tonight. I knew we were going to start with the Brewers, so we got that out of the way, thank goodness. I wanted to talk a little bit about, we've got some time in now where we've listed some stuff through CDP with a couple of other platforms. And it's ironic because I was thinking about talking about this tonight anyway, the kind of building on our conversation last week about Whatnot and how I feel like there was just such a vibrant presence for them at the National. And when you talk to anybody, not our age, younger than our age, that's like, oh, I'll buy it on Whatnot. I'll buy it on Whatnot. But yeah, I know, sick card, bro. And it really got me to thinking that, geez, I'm just not participating enough in that part of the market. So there's a lot of customers we're leaving out, just doing eBay stuff. So got all the Card Dealer Pro stuff ironed out over the National, things like that. We started posting. I think you just started a Whatnot account and started posting there. We each got some sales on collects. And then this morning, I got an offer on a card on Whatnot. I haven't had any sales there, but I got an offer on a card. Pretty fair offer. I did counter because I just kind of want to see what the process looks like to do that. And then, and I was excited. I posted about that. And then just a few minutes after that, I ended up with an order. I sold a Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl, Road to the Super Bowl card for $5. So it would have been $5.99 on eBay, but they round down. So I sold it for $5 on there. But only $1 in fees, and I don't do free shipping on Whatnot. So I still come out further ahead selling it on Whatnot than I do eBay.
On Whatnot?
On Whatnot. I even wore a shirt today to celebrate it.
Nice.
So a couple things that I learned. One, the label process, pretty simple. It's almost exactly like Collects. It creates the label for you. You simply download it, print it, put it on an envelope. You're good to go. Here's the label. So this one is going ground, which I was like, why would you send it ground? So I was looking at the listing and it said 1 ounce envelope shipping or whatever. Well, when I went to Whatnot and I looked at my inventory, it did not have my shipping profile on any of the listings for some reason. So I bulk edited and I changed everything to a 1 ounce profile. You can build your own shipping profile on there too, but I threw it at 1 ounce because pretty much every 1 ounce covers on pretty much every card. And then if the ounces add up, like let's say they get 6 or 7 ounces, well, it's going to charge them a bigger price anyway because the weight is heavier. But it made this buyer pay for ground advantage. So I don't do free shipping on Whatnot. So at least it was the buyer paying it, not me. But just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. The other thing is condition didn't copy over. So I had to go.
A lot.
Yeah, so I had to go edit and add, put my near mint, condition on most of the items.
That. It gives you a little alert at the top that says you have X low quality listings.
Yep, low quality listings. And that does, for my research today, that does mean that it doesn't hit the algorithm where they promote your listing.
Okay.
So you got to have something in there for shipping, and you got to have something in there for the condition for it to be considered a quality listing, and then it'll get into more, feeds of people that are looking for that kind of thing. The other thing I found out too is it's really, because we had talked about this, but I hadn't had a chance to look at it until recently. You said, well, can you just put them on auction then, and do a live whatnot with them?
Yeah.
And you can, so you can just click, whichever ones you want and just hit send to live auction, and then boom, you're good to go. If you set up a show ahead of time, you can actually then just add them to that particular show. So, if you're going to do a show, let's say tomorrow at noon, you can go through, choose your inventory, throw it in that show, and it's ready to go.
And that's exactly why I started throwing inventory out there, building up to when I want to do a show eventually.
Yep. So for those of you who haven't had much experience with that or any or considering doing it, don't want to do it, whatever, that was some new details that I had from today that I thought I would share, and take that as you wish. And if you use it, great. If you still don't like it, that's fine too. But I think it's a great way to do it. I really like the fact that I can just throw it in a live, and it automatically puts your photos in and your description and all that. You don't have to create the live show really individually. You can just take your current inventory and put it in there. Bulk edit tool worked really well as far as like editing the shipping and editing the condition. So the other thing to note, and we talked about this in Discord, you had mentioned it does round down your price. So if you're pricing at $4.99, it's going to list it at $4. Now, I was fine with that. That was one of the reasons I didn't make mention of that right away. I was fine with that because I don't charge shipping. So basically I get that buck, that would normally cost me to ship 74 cents, whatever the hell it is. I don't have to cover that. And that price that it drops by the dollar is generally the price I would accept on an offer.
Mm-hmm.
So just to try to build some business on whatnot, I got a few more followers today, probably because I had a sale. Just to try to build that, I was okay with that dropping by $1 on whatnot versus eBay for the price.
I looked at it the same way.
Yeah. So instead of going back and chasing them all and trying to change the price, and I listed at $5 instead of $5.99, I'm cool with that. So what happened in the end? So this is a card I would list at for $5.99 on eBay. It got listed on Whatnot for $5. It sold for $5. It wasn't an offer or anything. It was a straight purchase. Whatnot's total cost to me out of that was 60 cents to Whatnot. 40 cents, I believe, to the like the PayPal, the 2.9% plus 30 cents, whatever that is. So it ended up being exactly $1. So I get $4 out of this sale, which is about what you would get if you sold it for $6 on eBay.
Right.
Maybe a little bit less than if you sold it at $6. But no promotional fees, none of that stuff. And I got a sale. So instead of having to try to sell this on eBay, which of course it was listed on eBay, I got a sale on another platform. So I'm up to 5 sales on Collects. I got my first sale right after the National, and I've had a few since then. Some good Garbage Pail Kids orders and stuff. So I think it's been really good.
Did you verify your Whatnot order got pulled down on all the other platforms?
My Whatnot order got pulled down on the Collects platform. It did not get pulled down on eBay because I do my eBay listing separately. Remember, I use I do CSV.
That's right.
Yep. So, so anything I sell on, this is the way I do it. Okay. Now you can just simply do it with the List to It app, buttons right on the screen on CDP. But I use the CSV when I'm doing eBay because I want to be able to change the quantities. And I like to be able to adjust the SKUs because they consolidate the bags when they get smaller. So for me, what I do is I sell it on Whatnot, and I don't care if on Whatnot or Collects the bag number gets updated because I'm cross-referencing it to eBay when I get a sale anyway. So it'll be correct on eBay. So sold the card on Whatnot. I went and looked. That's the other thing. When I went into the order, and I was doing this on my phone too, not a browser, but when I went into the order on Whatnot, it did not give me the SKU number for
Okay.
the item. So I was like, well, how am I supposed to find it? What good is the SKU if you can't see it after you sell it?
Your
So
batch.
yeah. So it must be, well, I checked that too, and there's no SKU number. Well, yeah, you're right, your batch. But again, you're still going back somewhere to look, right? So I went to eBay, saw the listing there, canceled it, checked on collects just out of pure interest of, to answer your question, does it come off of there? It did. So it obviously took it out of Whatnot, took it out of collects, and then I went and removed it from eBay. Now, something interesting about collects, and I don't know if you knew this, but collects, you don't get paid right away, right? You ship it, when they receive it, they confirm they received it, the funds get released to you. The cards do not come out of your inventory until the person confirms they received it, which is terrible, because what if now you've got those cards listed somewhere else? What if they sell somewhere else?
Well, you can manually take it out of your collection.
You can, but you need
a prompt for it.
Right, but that's why I wanted to point it out, because I don't know that everybody knows that. They think, oh, it's sold, it came out of there. That's not true. It doesn't come out until there's confirmed receipt, which is stupid, because obviously if you shipped it and you don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Now I understand the theory of, well, what if they return it, or the mail gets rejected and comes back? Fine, but I'll re-add them at that point if that's something that happens. So just heads up. If you sell on collects, it doesn't come out of your inventory right away. Charlie's right. You got to go in, which is what I did anyway. I went in and removed them, but I thought that was very strange. That didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it's a little wonky.
So just a few quirky things between the three platforms. What I kind of did was I started basically I could share this too. Maybe I'll put this in the Discord, but I kind of started a little chart of like, okay, this is Whatnot's little quirky things. This is Collect's little quirky things. This is eBay's quirky things. And should I get a sale in one of these, what do I have to do in the other two, if anything, to complete that sale?
Okay.
Now, for me right now, I don't really care about having to go to eBay to remove the item, because I'm not going to get like 60 sales on Whatnot a day. Right. So I don't really care. If I'm going to throw it into a live show, I'll simply just go delete them, right away, and not have to worry about it afterwards. And you could even do a buy the bag. You could do buy the batch, right? Take your whole batch and list that. Then I'm basically just pulling the batch and ending those on eBay. And then on collects, they'll end on their own. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm just kind of looking at each platform and, all right, if I make a sale on eBay, do I have to go take it from Whatnot and collects? I do, because I use the CSV. It's not in my inventory up front.
Okay.
Now, as I download my eBay inventory, it'll be fine. But for the time being, anything that isn't downloaded. Now, where is your inventory at? Has it all downloaded?
No,
The
not
CDP? No, mine either. I'm at like 32,600. It's been like 100 a week is what I get now. It's pretty stupid.
I don't even think I'm getting that many. It's been stuck.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me refresh my inventory, see where it's at right now. Because when we were at the National, it was like 10,000, maybe 200, 10,200.
Yeah.
So a little more than halfway. But I don't think it's made any headway since then. And I part of me wonders, is it because 10,488 now, but that might just be new stuff I've listed.
It is. That's your new batches. Yeah. That's added on top.
So I wonder if it's because we don't have unique SKUs on the stuff we did earlier, and it can't import all of that. Maybe, I don't know. It's maybe for each batch we did before that wasn't unique, it's just importing one card. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to our collects connection there and see.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at collects at the National. Every day I was there doing something, and we talked directly with tech guys, right? That actually work on the software, not just the sales guy who doesn't really, can't expect him to know all the tech and workings of it. And none of that seemed to be indicated to me that like, okay, well, it's what you have in inventory is what the problem is. Because anybody who's downloading all their eBay stuff is not going to have unique SKUs.
Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
know,
think so.
because remember, CDP didn't even start using unique SKUs until a few months ago.
So they had added the direct marketplace stuff. Yeah.
So I think what I've determined for myself is, since I'm a little over half what I have in inventory, I'm just going to take those 30K, send them to collect, send them to whatnot, and if the rest shows up later, great. If not, at least I got half my inventory on the other platforms, and I'll go from there.
Yeah.
So it could get weird because you could have stuff listed that's not really there, or stuff that's not listed that is there. I don't know, but I'm willing to go, okay, well, I made a sale here. I'll go to the other two platforms, see what's going on, and, make any changes that I have to from there. I don't know how else to do it. I want that 30,000 inventory to do something. There's no point in downloading it if I don't put it anywhere.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The other idea I had, and this is a pretty radical one, so you ready?
Can't wait.
So, right, I know. I figured you'd say that. So I feel like when you're listing newer stuff, you end up getting more sales on the newer stuff, right? Versus the older stuff. I mean, the new listing, right? New listing effect. Yeah. And I can't just, because I'm at 60,000 listings. No, this is in my sports store, not my non-sports store. Mm-hmm. I can't just end and sell similar, or I'm going to end up with all these extra listings. I'm never going to be able to add anything new, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'd use up my listings just relisting things I already have.
Right.
So I've thought about just taking down all of the inventory and just starting over, relisting everything.
Yeah.
So because most of it can be scanned, we can get the correct SKUs in it. I could list directly to collects and whatnot right off the bat. Everything would be clean and easy. You wouldn't have to download any inventory, and then all your inventory management would be right there.
Yeah, it's a lot though, right? Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
that's a big step.
It would be a huge step, but it would clean. It would be clean, and you should get some boost in some sales on some of those cards too, especially if they're older listings.
Yeah.
So what's the issue? Like, why not do it? Well, time. That's obviously the hang up. You'd have to grab all your packs, and I'd almost do it pack by pack. I would grab a pack, kill it, and relist it. It's all ready there to go. Scan it. The stuff that's not scannable, that adds the extra challenge, of course, to get that in there as well. But it's just a thought. I am not committed to that whatsoever. Not even a little bit. But it would be a clean way to do it and not have to worry about doing the downloads and the cross listing and all that stuff. You could go to a unique SKU right for through the entire inventory. So
yeah, that's in my mind, that's a pretty drastic step.
Mm-hmm. But it's one way to ensure that everything is cleaned out.
True.
And accurate. It would allow you to correct any inventory errors, things like that as well.
Yeah.
If you have anything. So just a thought. I do like the fact that with Whatnot, you can just throw something onto a live. So I'm going to do a live show this weekend, is my plan. I got to pick out like what inventory do I even want to send to a live show. Like now that gets more tough because you have to go through and select each card. So I got to figure out what my theme is going to be, and then go pick all those cards and grab them out of the bags and stuff so they're ready to go. But I think that's going to be a big time and effort saver and make live selling more time efficient in my eyes.
Yeah. So curious, you were talking about setting up your shipping profile in
Yeah.
Whatnot. Did you do any of the bundling options, or did you just set up, 1 ounce basic profile?
Kept it real simple. I just did 1 ounce basic profile.
Okay.
Now you could do. I have a separate profile that I did create where I did a bundle up to 5 cards.
Okay.
Doing 1 ounce. Um, I don't know. I just worry about that not necessarily working the way I want it to all the time. So, like, let's say you have 5 thicker cards or something, I don't know. I feel like you can't really, because they pay all in one transaction like that. There's no chance for you to like send an invoice or do anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, I just worry that it's not gonna, the cost won't be correct a lot of the time.
Okay.
So now again, the buyer pays it, but still, you want to give your customers the right price. And um, so, yeah, curious. Those of you in the chat, I mean, we haven't gotten to the chat yet, but if you're watching this, with interest or with current participation and on Whatnot, what have you done? What does your shipping profile look
Right.
like? Maybe there is a better way to do it. This is new, right, for us. Um, so here, what's even wilder. My experience today has been interesting to say the least on this. I didn't even know I had a sale. I never got a notification. So I went in and I was looking at Whatnot because I got an offer, right? And I'm like, oh, where's the offer? So I'm plunking around, and it says orders, and it had one, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I went in and looked at it, and that's how I found out. And it said, you have 6 hours to ship this card. Download your label and blah blah blah. And I'm like, no idea I had a sale, no clue.
You must have to
No.
check your notification settings, because I can't figure out how to stop getting some notifications from
So,
Whatnot.
but here's what's weird about it. I got the notification for the offer.
Yeah.
That's how I knew I had it. So why would I have a notification for an offer but not a notification for a sale? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yes, that is something that I have to, and I haven't done that yet. And didn't have time yet tonight, but I do have to go check those settings because I'm like, that's really weird that I would have a sale and it wouldn't tell me. You'd think that would be an automatic notification,
You would think so.
you know. The offer one was great. It was a nice email. There's a little button in there that says, accept or counter or whatever, and simple process, worked great. By the way, a counter offer is good for 30 days.
30 days?
30 days. Yep.
Wow.
So that was really interesting too. I was like, why would it be so long? But yeah, so my counter offer back to that guy, he's got 30 days to make his decision on it. Obviously, if you sell it in the meantime, that cancels that. But thought that was pretty wild. Maybe that's something you can adjust. I don't know. But again, just new. I've been sending things to Whatnot in fixed price listings, but I haven't gone on there and like really done a lot on Whatnot itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this was the first chance where I was like, all right, I actually have some activity on here. Let's go take a look at this thing. And I probably should have done it sooner, but yeah, life and such and junk.
Yeah.
I also got a new puppy last weekend, so that's been taking a lot of our effort. Decker the Wrecker. So you're gonna get to meet that new little squirt this weekend when you
Yeah.
pop over for goat show meeting evening and dinner and such. Now, have you had any activity on Whatnot at all?
I have not, but that
Okay.
doesn't necessarily surprise me. You've at least done a show on Whatnot. I have not
I've done a
done,
few, yeah.
yeah, I have not done any selling activity on Whatnot. I've only been a buyer on there. So I don't have any built-in followers or anything like that at this point. So I didn't really, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I did not send inventory there to expect to sell it right away. I'm
Yeah.
only sending inventory over a certain price threshold that I think will be good cards for a live selling event. So I'm building inventory up for the future. There is kind of what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know how or why, but I have like 70 some followers on there. I was like, that's pretty weird.
That's
Um,
pretty weird.
well, I don't do much on there. Like, why are you following me? But um, and some of it was due to, like you said, prior live shows, and
Mhm.
a lot of you fine folks on here in the Discord who are kind enough to watch the channel and you know went to my shows to help me out and did follow and such. Um, but yeah, I really feel like Whatnot's going to be something that I'm going to put a lot of focus into. I kind of have my eBay sports store set the way I want it set. I've got my 60,000 listings. I just rip a few packs in there once in a while to get new listings in and keep it full. And then the non-sport, just I'm more focusing on that as far as like buying cards to list and that,
Yep.
acquiring inventory. Um, Collects fine, whatever. If I get a sale here or there, why not? I'll take the money. I did get my first Collects purchase in the mail today, which was also a new
Yeah, I
a
got
new
one this week as
experience.
well.
Yeah, I used my credit and I bought a few Favre refractor cards. I got a couple PC cards, and then I bought a couple Mickey Mantle cards that I knew I could flip a decent price. Got them all from one seller, so I got a nice, you know, bundled price, if you want to call it that. And then I followed the seller, and the seller followed me back, so I got a follower out of that too,
There you
which is
go.
really nice. Um, so that worked out really well. Got the cards, are in great shape. You know, Seller got paid. We're all good to go.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of new things happening this week. Also, since I mentioned it earlier, for all you who watch the Dollar Box and have been watching, we hit 3,000 subscribers this morning, and I haven't been paying as much attention to it because I've been making much videos. We've just been doing the lives really. So I was surprised when I hit 3,000. I'm like, really? I didn't figure I had a lot of new subscribers, but
That's a big
um,
number.
yeah, but it's jumped up to that. So appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and we're going to continue to do the lives for sure every week. I know you just took your channel and you started like a podcast basically with it,
I did.
doing
Looking to
straight
do,
audio.
yep, straight audio, a weekly podcast called My So-Called Card Life. So it'll be a little bit of the week that was, and the other half of it will be some type of learning event of what I discovered going through this journey. So first episode was really just a background of how I got started with it. This week we'll probably talk a little bit about how to choose a platform and what are some of the factors you think about. So little different than this show. We have we get a little wild and crazy on this one sometimes. You never know what we're going to talk about, but I'll have a little more educational format, I guess, on the podcast. Not that we don't do that here, because it's one of the three N's, right? News, knowledge, and nonsense. I know it's a K, but tell Stu that.
Yeah,
But yeah, a little more focused on the informative piece of my experience. Here's what I went through when I got started and had to choose a platform. Here's what I learned about sourcing inventory. Little nuggets we share here in a quick, snappy pace. On the podcast, I can elaborate a little bit more and talk about really my individual experiences, where we're usually talking about some of our contrasting pieces, and a lot of now it's a lot of the things we do together, right?
yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the beauty of running your own business, right? You kind of, there are some standards and some things you learn from others, and you use their practices, but then you kind of do your things with it too.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the fun of it. And as long as you're finding success, who cares how you do it, right?
Yep.
When you're not successful, then yeah, then it's a good time to start listening to others. And
Yep.
um, but yeah, I haven't listened to your podcast yet. I was going to do it on the way to on the way this morning, but I had the tops off, so I had the wind blowing and everything else, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to hear any kind of podcast.
Yep.
It's hard enough to hear the radio.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, like where you were going to listen to it, because when I thought about what kind of new content do I put out there, because we've talked on this show, I've kind of gotten away from content for a while. Life's pretty busy. It was taking me a long time for some of the things I was doing. I really enjoyed the liquidity list. Not saying I won't do that again, but getting it out on a regular basis got to be really tough. So I thought about two things when I decided to go the podcast route. What's a really quick production I can do? And you would not believe how much easier it is to do just audio than do video. You don't have all
Sure,
the setup
sure.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
And two, I thought about what I'm always looking for in content. And for me personally, I'm always on the go or in the middle of things. I'm always looking for just audio only content that I don't have to watch visually. I
Sure.
can play it when I'm doing this and that and not really looking at a screen, right? So I was like, why not? Let's try that avenue. You know, if someone can play it in the car, they can play it while they're having lunch. You know, they can listen to it at work, things like that.
Yeah.
Just easier. You don't have the video. Part of me is like, you know, you could say, yeah, even YouTube video, you can just listen to the audio. But like a lot of people like me work in an office where they say they'll give you a hard time if you have it on your phone and there's a video playing, even if you're not watching it. But if there's a video playing, it's like, can't do that, you know, so it avoids any of those conflicts too.
Sure. And, you know, if all you're doing is talking, why make a video? You know,
Yeah.
there's visual interest doesn't really, you know, apply in that scenario anyway. So yeah, just put the quality audio out and have
And
at it.
there's
So yeah, I thought it was a good idea.
I can throw an image up now and then about something I'm
Sure.
talking about, but live video takes you know, to do a polished video with some production value, it takes a lot. You know, I might do 15 minutes of content and take 3 hours to really get it to you, right? Versus doing the pod, it's 30 minutes to get you 15 minutes. You know?
And that's what I love, you know, what I love about the live show and why I always wanted to start that. I'm like, I just want something where we have our time, we take our break from our busy days and the different ways we do business and things, and we just go, let's have a chat, bring in all the other people who are doing the same thing and they're busy too. And we just have our chat hour or 4 hours or whatever the hell this thing goes. And just have an opportunity to do that. And we just talk and then it posts. I don't have to edit. I don't, you know, there's a lot of glory in that. It's very transparent. It's not edited, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Whatever you get is the real, because we're here and we're doing it right now.
Yep.
Um,
So it's been received really well. I appreciate everybody giving it a listen. You know, the numbers keep climbing on the views and listens. And my plan is I'll probably do the recordings on a Sunday and release them on a Monday morning.
Well, there you go. So for those of you who do not follow Charlie's channel, it's JC3 Cards and Collectibles. And go ahead and check it out. Give him a sub and a like and a listen and a watch, and because he's got videos out there too. And you know, we always do this show on this channel, but I don't want anybody to forget, you know, that you've got a good channel out there as well. So
probably get a chance to hear from Mrs. JC3 occasionally, and the other C's and JC3, Creed and Caleb. We'll have them on, I'm sure, to share their perspective of this crazy family business we do.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I don't think there's a lot of card podcasts out there. I know there are some. I've listened to some. But yeah, I think you're right. It's a great outlet for you. It just gives you a chance to talk about your specific journey and what you're trying to do and build for. And because to a large degree, this show is structured around my journey, right? I mean, it's my channel, so
it is.
So it's a lot of like, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I've done, and then, you know, just kind of getting your experience and your feedback to that. So So I'm glad you have a chance to. If you ever need a guest on your podcast, I would consider it. So
Heck yeah, you're
yes.
on my short list.
All right, you talk to my people, and we'll set something up. So yeah, so the goat show, we might as well move to that. Cover
Oh
this
yeah.
real quick because we didn't throw it on until the end of the show last week, so I'm gonna put it on right now, quick before we get to chat. We'll get to all you chatters. I see there's some action in there.
Cheers.
But I wanted to update on the goat show a little bit. We are not like 90% sold out, so basically we'll be sold out by the end of the week.
Sweet.
Yeah, because we have a couple of, there's always a few that are like, well, I'm kind of in, I'm kind of not in. So we should get some commitment for that, which is great because it's, what, a month and a half away and we're sold out. So
It
we'll
will
start the
be here
waiting
before
list.
we know it.
Right. But it's still a long ways away. So we'll start a wait list like we've done with the prior shows. And once we have enough to fill another row, we can expand the show floor and things like that. So don't give up. If there isn't, if it says sold out, make sure you get on that waiting list. Contact Jenny or Brianna. Don't contact me or Charlie. We don't know what we're doing. Contact those two, or what is it? The Goat Show, the Green Bay Goat Show, the Goat Show,
The Goat Card Show
the
at
Goat Card Show,
gmail.com.
the Goat Card Show at gmail.com.
You're so close. So close.
Email there. No, I know. I'm screwing with you. Email there or the Facebook page. Message us through Facebook. Whatever. Or Instagram. We're on Instagram too. And then we'll make sure we get you on a list or get you a table. But anyway, we've already talked about our giveaways and things like that. I did pick up. There's a bunch of new Halloween packs out. I got some Squishmallow packs, and they're kind of awesome. Actually, do I have any with me? Where did I put my Squishmallows? Here they are. I got a few cards I can show off too. We'll do that after we talk about the flyer here. But so we've got some Squishmallow packs. We've got some football packs. We'll have some Pokemon packs. So we've got some nice stuff to rip for the kids. Each kid that comes in, for the first 40 kids, will get a pack to open. We've got our Hide-A-Goats, or Find-A-Goat. I guess either one applies correctly. Find a goat at one of the dealer tables, bring it up. We give you $5 $5 to spend at any dealer table on the show floor during that show. If you find the golden goat, you get $25. So a fun little extra game there. We've got BB Breaks. He'll be bringing, which we got to update that flyer. I don't think BB's on there yet.
We do, yeah.
So I know we just talked about that. Stuff we'll go over on Saturday when we have our true meeting where we're really pumping for the next show. But he's going to do some additional breaks. Benji Baker does a great job with his stuff. He's opening a brand new shop, which, by the way, I'm going down there for the grand opening if you want to join me.
Oh, and when is that?
September something. I don't know. I have to look it up. It's on my calendar, but I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah, as long as it's the weekend, I'm in.
Yeah, I think it's a Saturday. I want to say like first Saturday in September. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you go to BB Breaks on or is it BB Cards or BB Breaks? One of those two.
Breaks, I believe.
BB Sports Breaks. That's it. On Facebook, you can see it on there. It has the grand opening date and stuff. And talk to Benji about it. I'll be there. I think that'll be a fun thing to celebrate and congratulate him on his upgrade in store size and such. But anyway, he's going to do some additional breaks and have some giveaways. So we're going to expand on that break section. Charlie and I will do our live show from the stage, which is always a good time. We'll show some pickups. We'll have some early pickups at the show and show some of that off, and just going to talk about how things are going. And September is always a great show. It's a great time of year for sports. You got baseball kind of figuring itself out at that point. You've got football getting into gear and kicking off. You've got, I think, isn't like preseason hockey start shortly after that? I think preseason hockey is like October. Right. I think it's in October. Basketball starts. I think the draft around that time. I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on in sports. So It's a great time for a show. You know, kids are back in school, so there isn't the vacations, but the weather's still decent. So if you're thinking about coming to a unique, fun show, check us out. We are going to be at the historic Riverside Ballroom in Green Bay from 9 to 2. We don't know what the menu is going to be. That's always a fun topic of conversation because we get whatever they've got to make us. The food is always an amazing price for what you get and delicious. Everything they make is super tasty. So that's part of the fun of it as well. We've got plenty of space to sit, have a drink, eat your lunch, open some packs with friends, make some trades. We've got extra space to do that. Nice, great open concept location. We've got an ATM on site, free parking. So yeah, come and join us. Anything you want to add to that?
I don't. I was trying to get to our goat show stuff here to get our files to see if we had an updated flyer. So I was kind of multitasking here, and I was unsuccessful in my endeavor. So I do not have anything to add to that. You did a good job.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, so we'll be ready to go. Like I said, Saturday, the Goat Show team is getting together. We'll finalize everything. Probably do another update to the flyer. Get a couple more posts out about hey, we're sold out, or get added to the wait list. Square some things away with BB breaks and stuff, and get it all set up so that's ready to go for September 28th, Sunday, September 28th, Sunday. There is a Packer game that day, but it's later in the day. I think it's like 7:00. Is it the night game, something like that?
Yeah.
So perfect. Have a card show in the morning. Pick up some cool stuff. Watch the Packers win that night, and just make a fun fall football day out of it. So yeah, we're nowhere near Lambeau. That's the one nice thing. You don't have to worry about the traffic and all that. We're on the east side, so super easy to get to for the show day. All right. If you want to pop me back up there, I'll show you a couple of these Squishmallow cards. They're kind of fun.
Will do.
All right. So there are like, I don't know what you want to call it, but there's like poster cards. Let's call it that. Sure. So like here's one that says Fantastic, and it's got the little Dracula bear guy on it. But then there's also hollow foil parallels of it. So this is the hollow foil version. You can kind of see the red shiny there. So there's a bunch of different ones like that. This one's my favorite, the Spooky Vibes with the Grim Reaper on it. So
that is cool.
A little hard to tell the hollow. Well, here, this one you should be able to tell. You can see the hollow on that one. Yeah, the hollow shine. There are numbered cards. Here's a number card, numbered out of, I don't know if you can see this, $3.99. It's numbered out of $3.99. I don't know if I can get it to focus on.
There it is.
You can kind of see it, right?
Yeah, it's not focusing great, but I can see there's numbering there.
It's hard to focus on your return camera. I don't know. Anyway, so this happens to be the yellow parallel, which is numbered out of $3.99. They do have cards numbered as low as $99, I believe. And then there's all the blue is like the base cards, but look at how many hollow variations you get of the base.
Is that Morgana, the kissing bandit?
I don't know. Sure.
Do you remember her?
Sounds good, Charlie. No, I don't. And then, of course, there's a base card. So the blue base that's not hollow is this one. So you still got the Otto, the Grim Reaper there. So they got a lot of really cool, Halloween type characters. And then there's poster cards that are just base too. They don't have the hollow, but they're still cool. So yeah, I think they're pretty cool. They're a little bit thicker and more traditional cardboard cards than yeah, because the football and the basketball, even this year's is still kind of that flimsy, plasticky cardboard stuff.
Yeah.
Not that that's necessarily a terrible thing, just feels like the quality is a little bit better there with the Squishmallow. So anyway, so I have some packs of those. So something new and fun. To me, they kind of remind me of like the V Friends. You know,
Yeah,
as far as like the cards with the little creatures on them and stuff. So
I've been so tempted to pick some of those up sometimes, like in kind of, you know, I don't know if I would say boring spells between sets coming out and things like that, but sometimes that was the only thing that was eye catching on the shelves at Target, and I'm like,
the
I
Squishmallow,
check that
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't listed any yet, so I don't know how well they'll sell or anything like that. But I just anything that's fun and unique and I don't know. I like to expand to get to the stuff that not everybody else has. Speaking of which, I got my first Hello Kitty Ninja Turtle today. So I ended up with who is this? Cinema Roll Michelangelo is who I got. So he looks like
so that's
that.
McDonald's thing right now, right?
Yep. Happy Meal toy. So yeah, there's like 16 of them or something. It's like a huge set, I think, for toys. But yeah, they were cool. One of Luna's favorite Hello Kitty characters is Cinnamon Roll, so that was like kind of
I
nice.
like
And I love Michelangelo, so that worked out well. All right, 45 minutes in, we better chat, or our chatters are gonna ditch out on
chat
us.
it up.
Chat it up. All right, you start.
Dan's here. There's a puff of smoke.
Yeah, the first. Yeah. The first, so is he the new pope? Is that what it is? White smoke,
Yeah.
or I don't know. Congrats on the whatnot sale. Yeah, thanks. I really wasn't sure how it would go on there. Like nobody sells fixed really on whatnot, but from what I understand, just talking to a couple of other people that sell more regularly on whatnot, they're starting to load more inventory too because there's a lot more shoppers that are just trying to buy stuff on there. Um, Live auction sales are great, but some of it is timing, and you know what I mean. Like if you're looking, so for example, I was talking to somebody the other day that was looking to buy a new Kindle, right? Likes the Kindles, and I said, hey, why don't you try buying one on Whatnot? Well, what the hell show do you go into to find a Kindle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The search is a little cumbersome and stuff. Well, we started finding like Kindles listed in stores, like and shops on there for like fixed prices. So we just started comparing like the fixed prices, and then there was one that was a pretty good deal, and she ended up buying it. So I was like, okay, this there. What started as like a total live auction, backyard breaks, woohoo, wearing weird shirts, kind of flashy type entertainment style sale, has become a true marketplace.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a place to shop. So what that means is you're going to have other shoppers that come in too that don't want to be a part of the backyard breaks woohoo show. They just want to buy like nice cards. They maybe don't like shopping on eBay or don't have an eBay account, but they know whatnot, or they do some live buying and found cards they like, so now they want to get a couple more to finish out their collection, but don't want to wait for a live show to pop them up, and they just want to buy them. So I have a feeling that area is going to grow for them. It's a much more younger crowd friendly place to shop than eBay is. If you go on there and you're looking for something and you find it in a live auction, great. Then participate and make your bids and see if you can get it. But if not, well, maybe you just buy it on there instead. You're already on Whatnot, right? Why go to eBay to buy it? If you can find that same card at a reasonable price right there, buy it now. As well as if you're doing live shows and you have fixed sale inventory, you can get some cross sales. Somebody buys an auction or two and they say, hey, there's this other card here that I really like. I'll throw that in too, and buy that one. So it allows you to get that sort of checkout, candy bar at the checkout sale, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which we talk about a lot as being very important to your business. I mean, I think people underestimate how much value there is in that. So right now, most stores it's self checkout, right? What do they make you do to get to the self checkout? They make you go through this huge aisle, right, to get to the self checkouts. What do they put all the way down that aisle?
quick little pickup things.
All that little junk. I'm just going to get a quick Reese's bar on the way out and do this. You know how many of those they sell? Like thousands of them a day.
Yeah.
You know, a bigger store does. So you're really leaving something on the table if you're not adding that as something that somebody can purchase. So I think Whatnot's going to really expand that route. Definitely live selling is going to continue, and they're going to continue that to be a big focus. But they want some of that eBay market share too, right? Not just the live auctions. They want to get the buy it now sales and some of that. Just like eBay wants the live selling, chunk of piece of the market that they can get too, to, take that away from Whatnot and some other Fanatics and those other
Absolutely.
sites. So anyway, that was a long answer to congrats on a Whatnot sale. That's what I do. I talk.
That's what we do. That
Yep.
is exactly what we do.
All right, what else we got?
Let's see here. We got, looks like Boomslang was having some problems with the chat. He couldn't get his yo in, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit. He says, the bot won't let me say yo.
Oh, well, I've kind of warned people about that before. If you put 3 yo's in, you will get banned.
Yeah, there you
Because this channel is it's a proprietary for this channel is the yo. So trademark, whatever you want to call it.
To start it off, he said, "Yo, hit that thumbs up, folks, please."
There you go, attaboy. Yeah, thank you. I always forget this part. I don't know why, but yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think someone else will enjoy it, give it a share. Whatever, subscribe, ring the bell, all those things. So I thought about, do we need more visuals on this show?
Yeah.
When I was thinking earlier about like, oh, this is what I'm seeing on my Whatnot, and the just the sales screen, right? Sharing a picture of that. Is that something that everybody wants to see more of? Should we put more time and effort into those types of things? Or do you not care? If we're just talking about stuff, is that good enough and you can go look at things on your own? I don't know. So I just thought I'd pose the question. If there's a desire for us to do that kind of work, and I know you probably do more of that than I do. It's also hard for me because I can't share my screen because I'm on the phone. I do have my wire, and so I'm ready to hardwire in here. I just haven't done it yet.
You didn't hook it up yet?
No, because I need a converter because my laptop doesn't have a.
Oh, you need a dongle.
Yeah, so I need to get the USB to Cat 5 or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Plug. So it's ready to go. I have my pod in the right spot and everything now. My router hookup. So I just need that little piece to be able to plug in. But anyway, that's kind of why I'm asking it, because once I'm back on the laptop and stuff, then it'll be easier for me to do share screen and save photos and that kind of thing. But I don't want to do it if nobody cares. I got enough to do. So that's why I figured I'd ask before, going that into it.
Does anybody care? Do you want more visuals, more graphics?
Do they?
More side videos, more pictures, more.
It's funny because I get messages once in a while. Oh, I miss the sales videos and stuff. I'm like, oh, I should do some more sales videos. And then I watched a video of somebody last night that was like, card content sucks, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And one of the things he was talking about was, I hate the videos where it's like, this is what I bought and this is what I sold. And I'm like, well, there you go. So contradicting, stories, I guess, or sides of it. Love and hate for all things, I suppose. But
yeah, there's such a diverse crowd though, right? Like you have some people that hate that kind of stuff and some people that are going to be like, you need more of that. So
yeah, I mean that's exactly my point. So yeah, it's so weird how people can be on totally different sides of the fence on something, but it definitely happens. We see it all the time on lots of different things.
Bargain Boxer's here. He says, yo, 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 yo.
Oh, he added a yo. I like that. Well done. Well
Quadruple yo.
done. He
Rarely
did.
achieved. It probably took him a few attempts to get that down.
He yo'd over the top of my yo.
Some
They
would call
took
that
my.
a yodel.
He's like yo 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 yo. Like he's up there now. Bargain Boxer, I didn't see you at all at the National. I ran into you a few times the previous Chicago show, so we probably got to put more effort into that next year to get to see some more of you. Find people who are in this show regularly. I did do a little research on the car ferry today to Detroit.
Yeah.
So it's great and it's not great. Like the car ferry part is great, but then we still have a 4-hour drive to Detroit after that.
Yep.
So that's Detroit was a little further away from the lake there than I thought it was. So yeah, but I think that's what will be kind of nice about it because we can take off from Manitowoc, which we kind of got to get to that place anyway, and then take the car ferry, and then it's just a 4-hour drive. So it's really not that much
4 hours
longer
is
than
better than what, 7 or 8?
right, and it's not that much more than going to Chicago.
Yeah.
So, and then on the way back, we drive for a while, but then we kind of take our break and we get on the ferry and we'll have our cards with us so we can go through some cards and get some dinner
We can
and
create live
be on
content
the water.
while we're on the ferry.
We could create live content.
Although I don't know how the network is out there.
Yeah,
On the
that's
big
true. But you'd have to do it on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of interested me, and it's $99 a car.
Okay.
On the way there and $86 on the way back if you book like your round trip. Yeah, all at one time. That's what I thought. I was like, man, that's not bad at all. And it saves you a lot on the gas and all that kind of stuff.
Wear and tear.
Wear and tear. So there's
focusing on the road and driving through Chicago traffic.
Right. Yeah, because that's the other thing. You got to go through Illinois. So even though it tells you like, oh, it's this far, well, you might be slower than that once you're trying to get through Chicago.
Well, you're going to pay $30-$40 in tolls anyway, right?
Correct. Yep. And if we leave from Manitowoc, the boat's a little bit slower. It's a smaller boat, a little bit further to travel in the water. There's a ferry out of Milwaukee too, but then you got to drive to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And you're gonna,
we just go out of Manitowoc.
That's what I think too. So, and it'll be nice for when we get home. We just ride on the boat. When we get back to Manitowoc, it's a half-hour, 40-minute drive, and we're home.
Yep.
So I like that. As the guy who usually drives for the shorter tows, I like that part for sure. Yeah. So anyway,
I think that'll be good.
Yeah, a little side conversation, but that's kind of our plan right now is to take the ferry over to Detroit. I think that sounds. I like to add some experiences. I don't want to I want to go to the card show, but I also want to, especially if it's a city I haven't been in or haven't spent much time in, I want to try to do some other things. We're talking about going to Mom's Spaghetti one night for dinner, see if M&M is there to serve us some spaghetti. Just try a few different things. And I've never been on a car ferry in my whole life, so I think that'll be cool.
Hopefully you don't get seasick.
It doesn't really bother me. It hasn't. So my dad was a musician his whole life, and he played on like a river paddle boat for years and years and years when we were kids. The one that goes out to Mackinac Island. I don't know if you've ever been on that one.
Yeah.
And so my dad's band played on that. In fact, the name of his band was on the side of the boat. Like that was like their boat that they, he's a Dixieland jazz band. Anyway, so I rode on that boat hundreds of times, never had a problem.
Okay. All right.
So kind of the same concept, paddle boat type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. That sounds like something fun. So for those of you who don't know what the heck we're talking about, they did announce then the National in 2028 is going to be in Detroit. So the next two are in Chicago again. So we're all set there. We know what we're doing. And then the year after that will be Detroit. So kind of looking forward to it. After 3 years in Chicago, it will be nice to maybe go somewhere else. Just to add some flavor into the trip a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let's see here. Bargain Boxer continues and says, "Stick to eBay Live. Bo is killing it."
I don't have eBay Live, so not an option.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's lots of people killing it on Whatnot. I'm sorry to
True.
tell you that.
True.
It's there. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Yeah.
So,
Dan says, "Bro, you on Whatnot? Sick."
yeah, that's right. He said bro, though. It should be bruh. BRUH. That's the
Bro.
correct spelling. Sick card, bro. Yeah. The thing is, when I look at what I sell on eBay, and granted, the cards that I sell are generally going to be a more appealing to collectors our age and stuff, but I have lots of cards that young kids I think would love and do buy, but do they buy on eBay? Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe some of those cards that sit don't necessarily need to if I can get them on a marketplace where that buyer would be.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of basketball would do better too. Modern basketball, I struggle with on eBay. And I think I think Whatnot might be a good spot for a lot of that.
I think everybody struggles with modern basketball unless they're dealing in high-end slabs.
Right.
I think that's all anybody cares about in the basketball market.
I think there's a lot of younger buyers on Whatnot that don't have that kind of expendable income though, and will buy some smaller cards. I don't know either. I mean, unless you get somebody to provide that kind of information, no one knows. But you have to. That's how you find out, right? You got to try it. You got to get some of it on there and see how it does.
My experience so far just tells me basketball is a different animal than the other sports. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get chunky sales of basketball here and there, and sometimes they're like the players I sell because I don't really chase down a lot of basketball. A lot of it is just like I bought boxes and it was in it, and
yeah,
I list it cheap enough because I don't really think it's going to sell, and then like people buy it. So there are sales too. I don't know. I feel like I want to try to give some more of that an opportunity on Whatnot because I think a lot of the basketball buyers are younger collectors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel. I feel like Whatnot's like the young, fresh, marketplace auction website, and eBay's the old dog. Not that one is better than the other. It's just two different marketplaces, and it makes good sense to be on both.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
So
Dan says, to do live selling and Whatnot, do you still need approval, or did that go away once they opened marketplace?
you have to. It's not. It didn't go away. You have to do an onboarding. Did you do onboarding? You did onboarding, right?
I did not do onboarding yet.
Okay, so you're listing in the marketplace, but you can't do live selling.
Technically not yet, but my perception is pretty much once you go through that, they're taking all comers pretty much.
Yeah, so you have to sign up for like a 20 to 30 minute onboarding process, and they just kind of show you like how to do a show and what the expectations are and how to ship and that kind of thing. So it's actually kind of worth it. I wish that more sites did that.
I like that they've got the test show you can do. I'm looking forward to trying that out.
Yeah, so even if you're not sure you're going to do much Whatnot, I would do the onboarding just to get that done so that you're approved for live selling and things like that. And then you're good to go after that. You don't have to really do anything to update that or anything like that. You just have to do that one so that they turn live selling on. And it does get hosted by somebody who works for Whatnot. You'll be in a room with a bunch of other people doing the onboarding. Or at least this was my experience. Now, I did onboarding like 3 years ago, so it might have changed. I guess I don't really know, but overall, I believe you do still have to do the onboarding in order to live sell.
You know what? Now that I think about it, like I can schedule a show right now. Yeah, I can create a show.
Yeah, then maybe you don't have to do onboarding anymore. I don't know.
I don't know know either.
Yeah.
But I know it gives me all these pre-steps that it recommends I take.
Yeah. I don't know. I got something out of the onboarding, so I'm not. Even if you don't have to do it now, I'm not disappointed that I went through it.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a decent experience, and like I said, it was 20 to 30 minutes, and it gave me a pretty good idea of how to do a show because it's a little bit more complicated than maybe you think off the bat. Like you have to get a few things prepared. If you want to do 2 cameras and that kind of stuff, you got to have you have to know what type of auction you want to do. Like you want to do sudden death, you want to do one that adds time. Like there's a lot. There's more to it than just like here's a card, $2, done. Like so, I think it's good to do the onboarding so you have a really good concept of how it works.
Yep. Much in the same way that Adam always tells us, you don't want to go out there as a new seller and just drop 3,000 cards in and start selling 50 cards a day. You need to prepare for it. You need to understand what goes into that before you just drop in, or you're gonna fall.
So. For sure.
Dan's updating his inventory in CDP. Says it's done downloading, but only at 9,200 listings, and just did it last week.
Yeah, mine's stuck now. It went pretty quick for a little bit there, and then now it's like stuck. I just get like 100 or 200 a day, which probably is just my batches.
Yeah.
So that's why I figure if that's as far as I'm going to get, I'm just going to send them over there and go with the 30 grand. Still adding 30 grand to collects and 30 grand to whatnot is good. I mean, if I can get anything out of those cards, that's still a good move.
Mm-hmm.
For hardly any effort, really, to put them over there.
Exactly. Boomslang says he had a buyer who claimed he didn't get his card and tracking showed en route but not received. But instead of letting me or eBay know, he just went to his bank and canceled the purchase. Well, that's an interesting one. eBay told me funds are on hold and why. Well, a day later, eBay told me, congrats, I won the case.
Yeah, they pretty much, because it was an authorized purchase. So what he's trying to do is go to the bank and say, well, I didn't authorize this purchase, which is fraud. Because he did authorize the purchase. So as soon as his bank turns that, eBay figures that one out pretty quick and they go, yeah, no, this was a real purchase.
Yeah.
He clicked the button, he put the card number on himself. It's valid.
Right.
And kind of a jerk move on his part. He could have just said, I didn't get it. You could just refund him and then file the claim and get the money. Like I don't understand why a buyer would even want to do that, but yeah. So I always do ESE so that you're insured, so that, if you have a situation like that and the customer reaches out to you, just tell them, oh, hey, no problem. I'll just refund it and file my claim. So I have yet, as long as you're doing it correctly, I've yet to have a claim be denied. It's a pretty simple process.
You actually just gave me a reminder. I had a buyer contact me about this card. They got this card and they said, bro, that's not the pink parallel. There's no color in it. It's not pink. And I'm like, no, that's the card I listed. The Donruss Elites have a mirror refractor finish. You're seeing the color of the light bending. It's not listed as a pink parallel.
Right.
So he's like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to send it back. I'm like, that's fine. I'll refund you once I get it. Never actually opened up a return. Just sent it back to me. So now I gotta go in and make sure I refund them because I don't have anything telling me to do
sometimes
it.
I get that too, especially older buyers. Like I had some guy send it back. He had like a fancy stamp on the outside. He sent it in like a thank you card. Like to me, that seems like something an old person would do. Never opened a return. Yeah, well, I don't care. Whatever. If facts are facts, right? Never opened a return or anything. He just mailed it back to me. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just refund you then. So par for the course. You end up with the same conclusion, right? There just isn't a ticket for it, essentially.
Right. Let's see. Bargain Boxer says, all of that sounds like a lot of work. I'm glad I don't sell.
I mean, it is and it isn't. What's great, what I like about it, because I was, considering listing on more platforms anyway, like Collects and stuff. What I like about it is that they made it a lot easier now. And it's a software I already pay for, so I didn't have to add anything to it. I did have to go to Collects Pro because you only get 500 listings otherwise.
Yeah.
But that's $10 a month, and you get a $10 credit per month, I believe, right?
Yes.
Something like that. So I'll just buy a few cards each month, and that'll pay for itself. Um, but the fact that the unfortunate part is the download doesn't work for crap. Right. I mean, if it was smooth and you could just download all your eBay inventory, that would have reduced a lot of the work.
Yeah.
I feel like this is taking longer than it needs to. I could have had it all done, but
Well, it definitely
yeah,
is taking longer than it needs to.
yeah. So once you download it, then you just hit the button and say send to whatnot, send to collects, and boom, it's all there. So it's actually pretty simple from there.
Yeah.
The bigger thing is now you have these different platforms that you're getting different sales on, and you have to kind of go back to each one of them, to satisfy whatever's going on. But I don't really care if I fill an order in eBay or I fill an order in Collects or I fill an order in whatnot. Print a label and you put it in the mail. Like
Pretty
it's
much
not.
the same process. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a different login. That's about it. That's really the only additional step. So get all three, tabs of the internet open on your screen, have all three of them there, and then anytime you have a sale, you're ready to go.
I do wish Collects had a desktop app. I don't like that I
do
have
too.
to work on my phone all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. Well, Jay-Z, world famous Jay-Z is here. It says, "What up, boys?"
What's up?
True.
True. I forgot what I was going to say. You totally threw me off. Oh, the world Jay-Z. Yeah, it's funny because I was thinking about that do you remember last year when Jay-Z was at Fanatics Fest? And that was like a big deal. Okay, then never mind. It won't matter if I say it. But he didn't go this year, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be there now? But the National was cool though, as far as like extra special celebrities, right? With Flavor Flav being there and Tom Brady, and you can just see, Dennis Rodman. You can just see it like growing, and like bigger people are interested in checking it out for a day,
right,
or two. So I think that speaks a lot for the industry and where things are going to go. Those guys aren't going to waste their time if it's not something they can make money on.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
well, Dennis Rodman might, because he just likes that.
Yeah, true. And it was in Chicago,
Yeah.
So that I'm sure influenced him as well. But yeah,
sure. Well, Joe says he just exported his eBay listings to Collects and whatnot as well. So we will see what happens. Meaning, you just
good luck, man.
While we're on air.
Yeah, good for you. Good luck. Hopefully you get a lot of sales. There's going to be a lot of us sending inventory now to whatnot and Collect, so it'll be interesting to see if that helps us, because now there's more people doing it where it seems like more of a marketplace, or if it's obviously going to hurt because you add competition. But
so is it still in the beta phase, or have they fully released it now?
It's still in beta. It says beta on the
Does it still say that?
Yeah.
Let's see.
At least it did yesterday. It did yesterday. I don't know. I haven't looked at it today.
Yeah, I have it open.
So
Dan says, as Adam shows these cards on screen, my attention focuses on the tower of card boxes in the background.
I was wondering if somebody would ask that. Yeah, that's all like to be listed stuff. It got a little insane around here, so they're not piled from like the floor up. That's on top of my. Actually, I could show everybody because I redid my card room a bit. I did. So let's see if I can show you this. So I have all three cabinets are in here now. So we've got, kind of in the way here, but got this one here on the outside, and we've got this one here in the middle, and then this one here on the other side. So all three are in here now, and then all my stuff stacked up here is all stuff to list. Yeah, so my mail station has changed a little bit. So if you saw the video when I first did the office, so just a little bit better organized, things that are a little bit better put together. So all my top loads are in this bin here now. Sleeves are in this one. Just some current working supplies up here as well. And then of course the scanner. Can't go without the scanner. That's right there. But just some better organization down here with the mail supplies, envelopes, things like that. And then this cabinet, which used to be where the inventory cabinets are now, this got moved over to here on this back wall. Finally got my Favre autograph jersey framed. So that looks really cool. Certificate of authenticity is on the back. I wanted to put it on the front, so I might pull it off of there. And then the other cabinet that was on the other side where I call it a cabinet, but it's like a shelf basically. That got moved over to behind where my old picking station was. So my the two cabinets I had in here were on this wall previously, and this was like my little picker station on the other side of this desk here. That's been moved to, where all the cabinets are now. So got my chair here to sit and pick the cards, and now all three cabinets are in one spot, so it's very easy to pull everything at one time versus I had one of these cabinets out right around the corner in the hallway, and I had to go out there every time I wanted to grab something. Now it's on one spot. So that's that.
That'll be a bit more efficient for you.
I think so. Hopefully you could see some of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. My wife and my buddy took care of that while I was gone. So I came home and I'm like, where's all my stuff? You just know where everything is after a while, so
yeah.
So it took some getting used to, but I've got it down pretty good now.
Mrs. JC3 likes to reorganize some of my stuff sometimes too, and she means well, but it kind of ruins a whole day for me as I get readjusted.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. I'm like, really? You did this when I was at the National, and I come home and I have 400 orders to send? But
yeah,
I mean, luckily, like I said, pretty much everything's bagged in an inventory drawer. So as long as they didn't like screw that up, I could at least operate. And then like the rest of it, I could sort of work out as things went. But
yep.
But no, it's nice. I do actually have more. I have more boxes too. There's some under this shelf unit next to me here. I've got another like 10 or 12 5 rows in there. So I have a lot of cards to list.
Sounds like it.
And then out in the hallway is where I have the boxes that I just brought home from the National. I didn't bring them in here because I was trying to organize what I currently had going on. So I've just been picking stuff out of there. So there's probably another 5 row and a 2 row left out there. I did get a couple of 2 row boxes already listed. So I did list quite a bit from the National, but
okay.
Always more to go. I always have a few stacks on my desk and things like that, but these are my orders from this afternoon. I did orders this morning, but I had a bunch of orders this afternoon, so I got to get these out, including my whatnot sale.
My homie.
Yeah, he hasn't been that big a seller for me lately, so it was kind of fun to see it sell on Whatnot. I'm like, okay, well, are all the Mahomes buyers on Whatnot now? So I'm going to have some fun, like, comparing why did I get a sale there and not a sale here? Like, do I need to list more of those cards there? It's going to be kind of fun to see how the market shifts.
Sure. Yeah.
And how I take my business and make that work with those shifts.
Yeah. Well, Bill Simus is with us. He says, "What's up?
What's up?"
Haven't caught a live in a while, but still watching every show on replay. We appreciate you, Bill.
That's awesome, Bill. Thank you so much. I hope everybody still really likes the show. And I feel like what's weird is when I sit down to make a recorded show, sometimes I struggle to figure out what content I want to put in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like every week we do the live show, I'm like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this. Because it's once a week, I kind of save up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like, oh, I could talk about this on live. Oh, we did this with the Goat Show. This would be perfect to talk about on live. Because you can put a lot more different things together on a live show than you can. Like, if you make recorded content, you really got to have the true storytelling. Well, if you want to make a good video,
Yeah.
you really need like an intro and a theme and a thumbnail and like there has to be all these things to put that together, like a TV show. You have to produce it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the live show, you kind of get some carte blanche to not really have to do that. You just need an outline, and then there's lots of weeks where we're like, man, we want to talk about that, we didn't even get to it, and
Right.
that's okay. Where in a recorded video, you can't not so much. If you're gonna have a title that says talking about Toys R Us, and all you talk about is something else the whole time, it's like, well, that doesn't really work. So
Right.
and you don't feel pressed to do the editing and all those things, because obviously it's just a live conversation.
Yeah. The editing
Biggest
is
thing is controlling myself from swearing. That's
yeah.
harder than you think it is if you're a swearer in normal life. When you get to live, that one's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, for sure. Dan says, shoot, I remember the days when Backyard didn't have shirts on.
Oh, yeah, those guys. I don't know if you spent any time or remember walking past them. Did you walk past them in the Breakers Pavilion?
Not where I paid attention to them, yeah.
So I did, and it was not like it has been in the past. They weren't crazy. They were all dressed. It was more like, looked like some kind of respectable business. I don't know if they're trying to change their image or what, but there is no way on this green earth that I would ever buy into a break from those guys. That's what I will tell you about that one. But hey, if you want to, go for it. I mean, they've got something established. People know who they are, and I think a lot of people buy into breaks because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
But I would never give them my business just based on their prior activities.
Sure. So
But they do wear shirts now.
In my life, I've learned that if your business is getting a bad rap for something and you need to change your image, you just change your name to something like, Spectrum.
Yeah, oh gosh. Oh, we don't even want to get into Spectrum. I still cringe at the name of that place, and I don't even do business with them anymore. But yeah, they were so bad.
So had an outage last night, and then again today. Today it was coupled with multiple power outages. We had a good squall line come through last night.
Yeah.
Do a little localized flooding and took down some trees. And but yeah, I got home. I wanted to do some work and no network. I tried using the data on my phone and it was just, it wasn't effective. So I actually went to sleep early last night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what an outage is, but I do remember them. But I've been on TDS now for 2.5 years or so.
Yeah.
And never one issue. But I see it in my homeowners association. We got like a little Facebook groupie thing going on, and I see it in there all the time. Is anybody Spectrum down? Yeah, he said 3 hours and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
One of the problems I always had with them, I mean, the outages are outages. It's fine. They have an antiquated system delivering you data. By the way, internet cable was never intended to deliver internet. But they never make it right.
Yeah.
They never say, "Oh, well, you had an outage for a day, we'll chop $3 off your bill." Like, they never do anything about it. They're just like, "Well, too bad, so sad." They don't care. That's
So
always bothered me.
in fairness, I had one interaction with them many, many years ago where they made it right. I called the call center. I ordered a UFC fight, wasn't working. I called the call center, which routed me to their Phoenix call center, and I got some co-ed young lady helping me on the phone, and she got me my UFC event free of charge.
How long ago was that? How long ago
Like
was that?
20 years ago.
Yeah, and that was before it was Spectrum.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really count. Time Warner was kind of okay. That's how I started too. And you could actually get a technician out if you needed something. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't terrible, but that devolved, as cable kind of started dying, and then Spectrum started buying into to do whatever they're doing, and I couldn't get rid of them fast enough. So anyway,
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't know
just
how we got
waiting
into
for
Spectrum,
TVS
but
Fiber to build up the network in my neighborhood. They've got my
yeah,
deposit. I'm just
yeah,
waiting.
yeah, it'll
Longbow
happen.
2.0 is here, but can you buy a good lot of cards on Whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, you can find some pretty good deals on there. A lot of us, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Which, by the way, here comes the little link right on the bottom, right there. So get in on that. It's free to join. We got a lot of good conversation on there, and this is one of them. Is a lot of sellers now are buying their lots on Whatnot and splitting those versus trying to bid on eBay, and you can get some better prices, things like that. So yeah, you can certainly buy a good lot on Whatnot.
That's pretty much the only buying I do on Whatnot is when I'm in a stream with a seller that will sell lots, and that's what I dive into. That it makes
Yeah.
the shipping more economical and makes it where I
Mhm.
can get the kind of margin I need on it.
Yeah, and I really don't buy it all on Whatnot, to be honest with you. So I haven't done any of that. I don't really buy much on eBay anymore. Card shows has been my key spot, and I like I just showed all of you, I have enough inventory. I don't have to chase down lots.
Yeah, that's true. Johnny M says, since you asked, I don't care.
See, I told you. I knew it was true. I knew it was true. And you don't have to care. You don't have to care.
Right after that, Joe says, love visuals. So there we go.
There you go.
The votes are even. What are you going to do?
All right. Well, let me get my dongle, as Charlie puts it, and I'll get my laptop plugged in, and we can start doing some more visual stuff. That would be fun.
All right. Boomslang says, I put out a sales video twice a week. Not that I have a ton of sales, but just keeping it short.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you guys know, that was kind of my regular content, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and I saw a lot of weird stuff. So I think that held some viewers too, just looking at something different than, here's another Patrick Mahomes card that sold. I mean, there's plenty of those too, obviously, but just like, here's a flaming carrot card that sold. I think that helped hold some interest, but after making a couple hundred of them, like I didn't even really want to do it. To be honest with you, it's creating you have to have a passion to create the content. If you don't, excuse me, if you don't have the passion yourself, how are you going to get your viewer to be passionate about it? So, I didn't want to just make content for the sake of creating content. What's interesting is I haven't been making as many videos, but I'm still getting new subscribers. So this show has been enough to hold attention and build an audience. And again, thanks to all of you who watch and participate in the chat. Can't do it without you, that's for sure.
You have plenty of evergreen content too, though, where as new people come into the reselling world, you come up in searches and your videos get suggested and things like that.
Yeah, and I think that was, again, the whole purpose of initially starting this channel was just to show people another way to sell cards, to be a seller, and kind of the way I did it and how I wanted to do it. And as things evolved, what I was doing with those changes. So yeah, those are great videos that, can get views forever, essentially.
Yeah.
It's funny because once in a while I'll get a message on, I did one on the ESC shipping when it first came out, right? So that, how long ago was that now? Like 4 years ago or something,
Yeah,
5 years ago?
it's been a
It was a
while.
long time ago. But every once in a while I'll get a message from somebody like, it's not 59 cents, it's 74 cents. And I'm like, yeah, that video was 4 years old, dude. It was 59 cents at the time I made the video, but I always kind of chuckle at that one because I'm like, yeah, obviously the price is out of date. I should go back to that video and put a little disclaimer over the top of it, price as of 2020 or 2019 or whatever the heck it was.
So as we speak, I just got an offer for 8 Michael Jordan cards on Collects.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell those suckers.
Yep. Yep. Average Dave is here. He says, big fan of the pickups and sales videos. You didn't get 3K followers by accident. Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have viewers for that content as well. And I'm not saying I'm never going to make a sales day video or pickups video or anything like that. I definitely will. I just don't want to do like 3 a week.
Yeah.
We probably should have done some more content at the nationals. Sometimes I just want to be in the moment with stuff. Like, I thought it would be really cool if I'd have recorded the Christmas story box opening because those were such fun results out of that.
Yeah.
But I really just had fun hanging out with my friends and ripping the packs and just enjoying ourselves. And after eating the pizza and everything else, it was like, do I want to get cameras and lighting out and really make this? Yeah, really make this a thing. I don't know. So, yeah, there's no way I would ever be somebody who would like record everything I do kind of person. I don't want to share my life that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely will do. I had some really interesting sales in the last couple of weeks, and I really thought about making some more sales day videos. But I don't know. The other thing that kind of turned me off from doing them regularly is I started seeing more competition on the types of stuff I was listing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, maybe that was a result of making videos of what was selling. So, I don't mind competition, but I want to make sure that I have. If you look at a lot of the big content creators, they don't put on there everything that they're selling and buying.
Right.
They have some cards they hold close to their chest, as they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to make sure I kept doing that. So as long as I'm only making them sporadically, that should be fine.
Yeah. Well, Joe's got some praise for me today. Says Charlie's the best tech guy in Discord. He helped me get on Collects. I was glad I could help you there, Joe. Just let us know if you need any more help. That's what we started the Discord for.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you'll enjoy Collects. I mean, I don't know that I would like list there individually, but as part of your listing process, it makes a lot of sense to send stuff on there. There is buyers; they do have a market. I've been getting sales. Charlie just got an offer. So don't just completely. If you're paying for Car Dealer Pro, why not send your stuff to Collects? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't cost you extra. You already did the scan. So now we get a much better value for our scan, right? So instead of you scan, you send it to eBay. Now you pay for that one scan and you send it to 3 marketplaces.
Right.
And potentially could then take that and add it to a live show for nothing extra too. So I think it's decent value. I wish Car Dealer Pro had less issues. I mean, again, we could do a whole show on just that. But they're trying. They're trying.
Yeah.
I wish they'd slow down a little bit. Maybe sometimes like I feel like they get ahead of themselves. Like, fix what's there before you add something else. But it's a struggle most younger companies go through. Do you go after getting this stuff perfect, or do you go after the growth and adding new stuff? And it's a fine line.
I think that's a fair ask. Get it right before you start adding new stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Like something's in beta, and then they announce the next thing. I'm like, what the heck? This isn't even working yet.
right,
Like,
right.
dude.
We have something in football practice we call perfect plays. We've got a short list of plays we got to get perfect before we start adding anything else. So,
Flea
Art
flickers?
Greens, what's that?
The flea flicker?
Yeah, no, the annex of Puerto Rico. That's their favorite play.
Oh, well, I'm not even gonna ask because I
You
won't
don't know
understand.
the annexation of Puerto Rico?
No,
That's from Little Giants.
no, I don't know.
You've never seen Little Giants?
I don't know, probably like 30 years ago or something. I don't remember any of
You
that.
better have. Otherwise, that's
Yeah.
very un-American of you.
I believe I have, but yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Show me your intimidation face.
No idea.
All right. Art Green's here. He says Grandma Bob's and or Pie would be great spots for Detroit to visit for dinner.
Okay, well those are good tips. Grandma Bob's.
Grandma Bob's.
I side. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll
an
put that
interesting
on
name.
a list. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about Detroit. I've been in Detroit a few times, and it was at the airport.
What?
Yeah, Detroit. What? That's happening. That's going to happen a lot.
It's going to.
Charlie's going to get so annoyed, and I can't wait. It's going to be glorious. Detroit. What?
Joe says, do your store banners show up on collects and whatnot? So, I have two answers for you. Collects, yes, you can see my banners there. They do show up with your image. Whatnot, the answer is it depends. It depends on the type of orientation of your listing. So as you can see here, most of them do not, but if I have a horizontal card, it sure does.
Yep. I got to think about that. I thought mine showed up on there.
Well, maybe if you drill in, so let's take a look at that. Boom, there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure all of mine uploaded. So yeah, it just cuts it off on the thumbnail view. That's all.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, it should show up.
So there you go. Next question answered. Dan says that's fine. You can leave the basketball to me. There you go.
Yeah, I mean all the wild card and all the basketball to Dan. Everybody. That's where those belong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a passion for basketball. I feel like there's a lot of players that don't sell, and there isn't much where we live. There isn't much movement in it, so that doesn't help. Like there isn't like locally a bump to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. As I get stuff, I'll list it, and some of it will sell, and that's fine. But I really just don't chase any of it down.
Yeah.
I do so much better on baseball and football, so I kind of stick to those as primary, and then soccer is my fun like sideline play. And I do have some pretty good soccer buyers that buy a lot of stuff. And then yeah, basketball is kind of after that. I mean, non-sport is way up on my list than above basketball for sure.
Yeah.
But to each his own. If basketball works for you, then focus on that. That's great. I mean, we need basketball sellers too.
Yeah, absolutely. We always talk about the grind. For me, sourcing basketball and listing basketball is exponentially more of a grind than a lot of the other categories I list.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it too. Is I don't follow any of it, so I don't really know the players other than when I see highlights or I see the hot list of cards and things like that. I don't watch any of it, so yeah. I mean that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
I'd rather if I had my druthers, I would rather focus on growing my hockey inventory than my basketball.
Okay.
I've had pretty good luck with hockey. Like all the hockey stuff I picked up at the National, boom, it all sold right away.
Yeah. It's funny. One of the national VIP cards was Lane Hudson, I believe.
Yeah.
And I sold mine. I'm sure you sold yours. But
Yeah.
I was watching another content creator show the other day that talks about cards going up and cards going down. And Lane Hudson was one of the cards going down. So.
Well, I'm glad I sold it then.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Dan says, get your pictures of inventory ready. They want to see that at least they used to request, but that was 4 years ago. Okay, so they used to make you get some sample inventory ready and show them?
Yeah, I didn't experience that. I had to sign up for an onboarding class, and then they give you like a date and a time. And it was interactive. There was a presenter in the video with, a bunch of other people that were signing up along at the same time as me. And then, yeah, you just kind of had to complete that course and then you were good to go.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they've evolved it over time.
Okay. Joe says, I signed up for live shows when I started, as all I had to do was upload my ID and take a selfie.
Huh. Yeah, that was not my experience. Onboarding was required. So, yeah, interesting.
Either way you take it, it's much easier than getting onto eBay Live, right?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
it. Sparkle Sports Cards is here. Good day, y'all, from Australia.
Good day, mate. That's as good as my Australian gets. So
it's a Sheila, Adam. It's a Sheila.
What?
Sparkle Sports Cards is a lady.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a guy.
Well, you said mate.
Oh, you can't mate with a lady?
I don't know. It doesn't fit well for me when
So what do you say? Good day, lady. Good day, ma'am.
That's what
good day, madam.
It's a Sheila.
Is it Sheila?
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
That's what I would say. But
man, I never heard
ugly American, so.
Yeah, right. Same here. I never heard that before in my whole life. So if it's Sheila, okay, that's
you never heard. That's what Australians use for a lady. Yeah.
No idea. No clue.
And
I'll take your word for it.
Crocodile Dundee.
Well, yeah.
And the sequel.
But why do you remember stuff like that? Who cares?
Somebody has to.
That wasn't important to the story. I don't remember that. And again, that was like 35 years ago. I watched that movie. Like I don't remember any of that.
I do.
I don't have that kind of memory.
In fairness, you remember the print counts of a 1998, Pro set, and I don't. So.
Right, I remember the important stuff. Things pertinent to my job, Charlie.
So Sparkle says, sadly, CDP will not provide me with the software program in Australia.
Ooh, that stinks. I wonder why. Different laws, maybe? Different ways. I don't know. It's interesting. It sounds like there's a need there for someone to make a software program, so I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Build your own.
And then Sparkle, who, by the way, if I remember right, now we'll really test my memory. I believe Sparkle's real name is Susie. If you watch her channel at all. But she says she likes your setup there, Adam.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Says she can't wait to see your card purchases from the National, guys. Please.
Oh my God, I have so much. But I've started listing so much of it too, so it wouldn't be a complete picture anymore. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we kind of showed some the week after, didn't we, on the camera?
We did.
I mean, the main thing I bought was a lot of non-sport, especially if it was like 50s, 60s, 70s. Non-sport, I bought pretty much all of that. I got a lot of vintage. I mean, quote unquote vintage, but like first couple of series Garbage Pail Kid stuff, that stuff is, I've sold a ton of that already. It just flies. Stuff, movies, TV shows, bought a lot of Star Wars. But that's really been my biggest.
Star Wars. This
Yeah,
box,
that was really my biggest focus.
I've hardly touched it yet, other than like the VIP stuff and a couple of promo packs and stuff.
But yeah, and you don't have the scanner right now, so that's probably part of it too.
Yeah.
I've been able to grab some like stacks, and I mean here, this is what these all have to be put into the drawer, but these are my stacks that I did the last, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. You can see the dates on them. So I've been listing like a madman as much as possible. That's the beauty. So one of the other kind of new things, if you want to call it that, was while I was at the National, I upgraded my Collects account to Pro so I could list over 500. And then at the same time, I also moved my non-sport store to a premium. So I'm at like almost 12,000 listings, I think, in there now. And upgrading it to premium allows it to go to 60,000. So I've really been, as far as growth-wise, I've really been focusing on the non-sport listing, and then the sports listing, I just kind of do a batch here or there just to keep it full when I get sales. I did pick up some Hugh framed Roger Rabbit cards.
Look at that.
So that's fun. That's pretty fun. Some old school Gunsmoke. See what else we got. Mad Magazine.
The actor and Who Framed Jessica Rabbit, was it like Dennis Hoskins or something like that?
Sure, sounds good. you keep asking me like all these old movie things, and I just don't know any of that stuff. Just don't know any of that stuff. I picked up. I found quite a few different cars with like Walt Disney on them. Mm-hmm. And most of that sold already. The Zombies cards, those were really cool. Those were a big seller. Still have a good chunk of those. I sold like 3 or 4 of them. Howard Stern was the best one so far. I sold for, I think, $8.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and again, I don't necessarily want to show everything I picked up either, because then it shows what I'm buying, and I need to get to those. As it is, I have to compete with you now at every show. Because you buy quite a bit of the same stuff I did. For a while there, we were pretty different. And I was like, okay, you go to the NASCAR box, and I'll go to the non-sport box. But now you kind of hit a lot of the same stuff I do.
Well, and I still do buy that stuff, but I also made some large purchases in some of that different areas. So sure. I'm sitting pretty in those areas right now. So then I fall back to the mainstays, right? So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that I want 20 more people at a show.
Yeah.
Buying the same thing. It was kind of funny because I was sort of worried about that a little bit at this National. I'm like, watch, all these people go right for the non-sport boxes. But you know what? You and I were still the first ones in pretty much all of them. I was like, why isn't anybody doing this? It's crazy. Yeah, well, and that's just it. That's what I was like. But every time I talk about it, like, no one cares. No one goes after it. You'd think, like, I don't expect 100,000 people attending this show to go after the non-sport boxes. Most are going to be there for sport, but I figured I'd at least see 4 or 5 guys like fighting for the boxes, and didn't really see that.
Well, that's good for us.
Yep, absolutely. My best card margin-wise that I bought at the National was a non-sport card.
Okay.
It was that Blasted Billy. That's like a $70 to $80 card that I got out of a quarter box.
Sure.
So I don't find a lot of
card pickups.
No. Well, yeah, but that was sealed product. That's not the same thing. Yeah. I very rarely find an $80 card in a quarter box of sports cards.
Yeah.
When I say very rarely, I mean like never.
Yeah.
So unless I was putting in there in a complete error.
Yeah, and oops.
Yeah.
Dan says his anxiety would be going crazy having that much to list.
Are you talking about like if I handed them all and had to relist 60,000? Is that what you're referring to? Because yeah, that would
Or is
really
he
suck.
talking about your piles and piles of stuff to list?
Oh, I don't know, probably.
I think that's what he's talking about because you were showing the room around. Yeah.
What's funny though is like, because we used to go to card shows all the time, right? Like one every 3-4 weeks, and we don't really do that now. We buy at our show and then we buy at the Nationals. Pretty much all I buy at, and then like some collections once in a while. And sometimes I buy stuff from the shop. When I'm looking for like the hot player, like I bought all the Kigliones and stuff. Glad I sold those, by the way. But I guess I just don't really mind if the stuff sits here because it might be like 2 months now before I go to another show. So I'll take a 5-row box, I'll get 300-400 cards on a day, and you can get through that box a lot quicker than you think.
Yeah.
And then I'll empty a 5-row, and then that empty 5-row goes somewhere else. Some of these boxes of 5-rows too are commons, and I use them for kids packs. So they're not necessarily stuff I'm going to list.
Yeah. And a lot of the other stuff too is, kind of your stable legends. Like, doesn't matter if you list it today or 6 months from now, it's still going to go, right?
Yeah, well, I'll pick up a handful and it'll be Barry Sanders and Dan Marino and, those guys. So, and I have a lot listed. So it's not like, oh, I have to get all these berries listed because I don't have any berries out there. Well, I might have 5,000 berry cards listed. So it's not really that big a deal. But yeah, I'm not buying like I was the last couple of years. So now it's a better income producing business. I don't necessarily get more money than I did last year, but I'm keeping more of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like profit wise, it's better because I'm not reinvesting quite as much as I did because I already did that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yep.
Susie says the breaks are simply 100% gambling, and the hit rate is like tat slot too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a gambling position. I found that out the hard way when I bought into this last break at our show. And who did I draw? Like
Seattle, I think.
The Seahawks. Like the worst team you could get. There was like no hits in the product for that team, and it was like I was dead in the water even before they opened a pack. I did it to support a friend in a business and a dealer that we've worked with and stuff. But yeah, just totally buying into breaks, not so much. Same with like buying the what do they call them? Repack products, digital repack products. I tried. I had the free codes and stuff for. What was that vault one that they had at the show? What was the name of it? Courtyard. So I did that, and I bought one, and you can sell a pack right away, and I did that, and then ended up with like a $10 card by the time I was done for my $50. So yeah, I'm just not a big gambler type. Yeah. I take risks. I like risks, but I like calculated risks, not pie in the sky type stuff. Where the floor is so bad.
Mm-hmm. Dan says he never bought into any of backyard breaks and will never do so. Yeah, they really took a hit to their reputation.
Yeah, same, buddy. Well, and they had a terrible reputation before that. So
yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, no, I won't ever support them either.
Susie says she'll take that Mahomes card off your hand.
I already sold it. Were you the buyer on whatnot? Probably not, because I wouldn't have sold it to Australia. But yeah, Mahomes stuff is interesting. It gets like streaky. And I expect more of it to sell right now anyway, because we're preseason and stuff. But yeah, for a guy who's accomplished so much, I mean, he gets so much hate now. So, the underdog has become the favored, and no one likes that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I think anytime you have someone with that level of success, you automatically have haters.
Yeah.
If they're not your sports team, you're a hater, right?
Yeah, I would think. But I had so many we had so many buyers for Mahomes for forever, since he was a rookie, and now it's like it's
Yeah,
not
it
as
has
high as
slowed
it.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Boomslang says he sold 8 Kobe cards for $77 last week. It felt good.
Yeah, Kobe stuff is like it's like printing money. I
Pretty
mean,
liquid, yeah.
even at shows like the National, when I go through dollar boxes, $3 box, like I don't see any Kobe ever.
No. Mm-mm.
So if I run into Kobe cards, I pretty much just buy them, even if I have to pay up for it. Just because it's such an easy sell. As long as you got some margin in it, it's so liquid.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He says he loves it when you're just sitting around doing what you want and a sale rings up. Like just now, a Donkey Kong sticker just sold for $350. Yeah.
Nice. I love the fact that it's a Donkey Kong sticker. That pleases me.
Yeah, I sold
Oh,
some recently too. They
yeah.
every once in a while they seem to go in batches for me.
I sell more Pac-Man cards than I do basketball cards.
Yeah.
Just to
Mm-hmm. Well,
kind of clue
Pac-Man
you
or
in. So
Ms. Pac-Man?
Both. I mean,
Both?
they both have sticker card sets, but
Yeah.
um. So why buy a bunch of basketball if I can go get more Pac-Man, right? I mean, you have to go with yeah. The numbers are there that it tells me to go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
shoot.
Joe's got a couple of questions for you. First, he wants to know if you've heard anything back from eBay yet about, well, it's really just one question. Have you heard anything from eBay about listings sold still show in your store with a zero quantity?
No, I did send them like a ticket or a message, and I haven't heard anything back, and I haven't heard like a general statement from them either about it.
Okay.
Um, but what's weird about it is it only happened like on a few of my listings, and it hasn't happened since. So I'm not
Okay.
quite sure. I'm not quite sure if it was just like a super minor glitch, so they're just not going to acknowledge it and say, "Well, it was just you." Um, but I mean, like I said, look. These are my sales from the afternoon. I had tons of them, and a lot of them went to zero. And I mean, went to zero meaning I didn't have any more quantity, and they ended just fine. They didn't
Hmm.
sit there with zero quantity. So I don't know.
I've had that happen a few times in the past, but it was pretty sporadic and isolated.
Yeah.
Um, and it didn't, like you said, it didn't seem like it was doing it to everything. It was just a couple of cards did that. So,
So yeah, I think that's kind of what we hit. It was kind of interesting that it hit at a time. Man, I'm really on it tonight. Kind of hit at a time where we both saw it at the same time, But yeah, if you're getting enough sales, you're gonna get, it's gonna happen at times where you get these little glitchy ones.
yeah.
Par for the course. I'm yawning more because the little rodent that we just purchased, dog, is gets up a couple times in the night, so have to deal with that. He he's pretty well behaved for a puppy, but he's still a puppy.
Yeah. Johnny says, does CDP remove your listings from other sites when you get a sale?
Yes, as long as you're listing them all with the direct listing buttons in Car Dealer Pro. So
Yeah.
it doesn't for my eBay because I list my eBay on my own because I list quantity way too often to do that, and I need to keep that listing space because I'm pretty much maxed out on that eBay store. The other reason I do it is because I have two eBay stores and they do not let you connect two eBay stores at this time. So no matter what, my non-sports store, I have to do a CSV file anyway. So might as well just do it for both. And then whenever I sell collects or whatnot, I go to the appropriate eBay store where that would be listed and I just end them. I
Yeah.
actually like it. I actually think it's a better way to do it anyway. Yes, I get the convenience of, oh, well, they take it out for you. But I like the fact that because I pretty much need to go to eBay to get my SKU number anyway, especially if it sells in collects, because collects doesn't have the SKU. So I feel like I have to go there to do that anyway, and then I just hit end the listing. So
Okay.
I don't know. It's my take on it. And I know you do just direct list, right, on all yours?
I do. Well,
Yeah.
when it's working right for me. So essentially, it seems like I have a lot of occasions where not all three are working at the same time. So
And that's my other
typically,
fear. Just assuming it works is not so
yeah.
great.
And sometimes it's delayed in posting. So you're like, is this thing
Yeah.
working? Is it working? And 5 minutes later, all your cards appear there. So,
And then collects, if you sell, they don't take it out of your inventory anyway.
right.
They don't do it until it's been confirmed receipt. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you need to look it up anyway. So it doesn't really matter to me that I just have to go do that part manually.
Yeah.
If I start getting like 50 sales a day on collects and whatnot, well then, and I'll have to reevaluate that obviously. But for now, it's like the few sales I get a day, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Dan gets the Little Giants reference. Thank you, Dan.
And that makes sense.
Susie's getting a kick out of us tonight. Boomslang said pink may be a clue, right? Like it did not say pink. Just because you see pink in the picture doesn't mean it's a pink parallel.
I want to know why it's refracting pink. What are you using pink there that it's picking that up?
There's pink, there's silver, there's kind of an orangish. There's all kinds of colors in it. It's a rainbow foil.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Boomslang says mate is a dude, maybe.
Yeah.
But remember, dude looks like a lady. So
that sure can happen. Yes.
that song's still a hit every time it comes on.
Yes, it is. I just heard it this morning.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Susie says mate is fine.
See, there you go.
All right. Okay. All right.
Heard it from her own typing, not mouth. Typing.
Boomslang says too much Crocodile Dundee. Blasphemy, yeah. Boomslang. Blasphemy.
See, he agrees with me. He's like, would you stop talking about the stupid old movies? Like, nobody remembers that stuff.
Yeah, but if I say Goonies.
Yeah, but that's a movie that you watch every year. So you're going to have that. You don't watch Crocodile Dundee every year. Who does that?
Well, I might.
No, you don't. Stop. Yeah,
Susan
go ahead.
Says, yes, Sheila.
LOL. So Sheila is right for the. Well, yeah, like you said, it was out of a movie reference. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Hey, do you remember Romancing the Stone?" And they said some quote from the movie. I'm like, who the hell remembers quotes from Romancing the Stone? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I can't quote anything from Romancing the Stone. I do remember watching it.
Same, so do I. But I was like 11. I don't remember any of that.
Kathleen Turner and the guy from Escape from New York or something. Kirk Douglas.
Yes, Kirk Douglas.
Yeah. Okay. Susie said the CDP told her they only do U.S. and Canada at the moment.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll build out to you eventually. If there's keep kind of poking them and saying, "Hey, we're interested in this out here," and that will motivate them to try to get it out to you. Because I'm sure if they have enough users, they'll put the effort into it because you'll be sending them money. So yeah, just keep on it.
Yeah. And Sparkle says I got the name right. She's Susie.
Yeah. Perfect.
She'd love to see the Star Wars and sports pickups.
Okay. So we have some more demand for pickups. We can I'll do a pickups video. How about that? I haven't made a video in a while. Susie is very kind and made a nice request and participates in our chat all the time. I will make a pickups video for Susie. Like I said, it definitely won't be all of it. I bought like 10,000 cards at the show, so I'm not going to do that. And several of them I have listed, but I have good chunks of stuff to still show. So I'll do that. I'll commit to that.
Yeah.
So look for that this weekend. I don't have time tomorrow. No, I don't have time Friday either. So I'll do something on Saturday and I'll put it up on Sunday. How about that?
There you go. And she says, yes, the star of Who Framed Roger Rabbit was Bob Hoskins.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, Bob Hoskins. He
Or was
passed
that
away
the
like
Cincinnati Bearcats basketball coach? No, that was Bob Huggins. Bob Huggins.
I know. I think isn't it Bob Haskins or is it Hoskins?
I'm pretty sure it's Hoskins.
Anyway, he passed like shortly after the movie, didn't he? It's like
See,
a couple
that
of
I
years
don't
after the movie came out. He see, like that's the kind of stuff I would remember, not what actually happened in the movie.
Well, that's very
Like,
dark.
well, yes. I also like horror films. Okay, so
Yes. Dan says him and I are on the same page, loving the movie references.
I like movie references of movies that matter and people actually still watch. That's
Like
what
Tommy
I like.
Boy?
Yes.
Hey, you know where the weight room is?
Yeah. Yeah. Or is he one of the Yankees?
Yeah. Were you watching Spectravision?
Vision. Say so Mike Myers, any of that stuff. Yeah, let's do it. Things that people actually, watch and retain. I'm all about that.
Johnny says he bought a small lot off Facebook on Monday, included Star Wars, Pokemon, old presidential cards, and soccer. All stuff I want nothing to do with. Send it this way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give you my address.
Yeah. Sold some Richard Nixon just the other day.
So that's kind of something that I count on. That's where I, a lot of my non-sport angle came from was, these people buying collections and dealers and stuff. And they're like, I don't want to deal with any of this. Great. I'll take them at 10 cents a card. And they don't even bother looking them up. They have enough to deal with on the sports side that they don't even look at it, and made a killing off of cards like that.
Yep.
Our biggest returns have been off of, that type of stuff.
For sure. Susie is a Chiefs fan. That's why she wants that Mahomes.
Well, that would make sense then, because he plays for the Chiefs.
He does?
He does. That was not a movie reference.
That was not.
From 35 years ago. That was a current reference to a current sport athlete that people will know.
Let's see. She says, I have some buy it now listings still listed showing zero quantity. So
if you do, I would just go end the listing. Just go get rid of it, and then that'll take care of it. That's what I did. The few that I had, I didn't have a ton, but I had maybe, I don't know, less than 10. In my sales from that time period that showed up that way, and I just went and hit end listings on all of them.
Yeah,
wiped them out. I don't reuse an old listing. If I'm going to list another copy of that card, it's going to be a new listing.
Yep, handle it the same way. Now we're getting into Crocodile Dundee. Susie says, now that's a knife.
Okay, now I do remember that quote. So
that's not a knife.
But that was everywhere. That quote was everywhere.
Dan says he feels like taking a walkabout.
A walkabout.
Yep.
So the Canadian version is walkabout. So speaking of that, so do you know how a Canadian says whatnot?
How?
Whatnot.
Wah, wah.
Whatnot. No, I'm serious. That's how they pronounce it. It's just like I heard somebody talking about it at the show, and that's what how they say it. Whatnot. And I'm like, what the hell is whatnot?
But I could hear somebody from Boston saying it that way too.
That's probably true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yep. Dan says, funny thing you bring up Tommy Boy. They just had Tommy Boy Fest last weekend in Sandusky, Ohio. Did you see awesome. Michelle, the prettiest little girl in Sandusky?
Yeah. Quit playing with your dinghy.
You better pray to the god of skinny punks.
Yeah, so good. Gone too soon. He was from Madison, Wisconsin, by the way.
He was. Yep. Yep. Joe says I have 18.
I'm thinking he means 0 quantity listings that remained.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go wipe them out. Just go take care of it. I mean, you can open a ticket with eBay and ask them what's going on here, but I honestly don't think you're going to get resolved to that unless you're some kind of inker store or something where they care. So I would just kill them, and if you have more of that card, make a new listing later.
Yeah. Agreed. Joe,
Fat
fat guy in a little coat.
So good. See, people. This is what I'm talking about. These are movies that people can relate to. Not Romancing the Stone.
Richard, let's talk about our
Mhm.
feelings.
Your head has a thick candy shell.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Surprised you didn't. Lots of people go to college for 9 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Joe says eBay had no idea when he called them. They're always going to say that, though. Culpable deniability.
And I think a big and I to some degree I actually think they're telling you the truth, because I believe it's just a small issue that pops up that, it's not like they're getting 40,000 users contacting them saying, "Hey, I got these 0 listings."
Yeah.
So it's a more isolated problem than I think you think it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guess what? We're all caught up in chat, and we're closing.
Bye now. See you next week. Oh, that's not how it works, huh?
It is getting late. We're past the 10 o'clock football season curfew.
Yeah, I'm yawning, and I got to let the pup out in the morning. So, yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna try to pick up that dongle, and we can try to do some more interactive screens next week, I hope. Oh, we got another one. I left my side door open the other day. I was doing stuff out the back. Came back to find a large male kangaroo in my kitchen. Nope, I've seen those things. They work out harder than Mike Tyson does,
Yeah.
That is one muscular little creature for sure. Big creature, I guess.
Marsupial.
Yeah. Anything that hides their youngins in a pouch, I would be terrified of that.
There you go.
That's just a weird way to live.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so I'll try to get the hardwire hooked up and use the laptop next week. That should help that. I'll commit to making a pickups video. Be kind of fun. I haven't done one in a while, and I don't really have to edit that. I just film it and post it, so I like that.
Yep.
And it does give you a little bit of a picture of our experience at the National, which we didn't really do a great job of representing.
We really didn't
at the time. Well, we were both kind of like, "Do you want to make a video?" It's very tiring to do 10 hours a day on a card show floor, and then Charlie stays up late to scan and list, and then I get up early to scan and list, and it's like a whole thing. So, not making excuses, just giving you reasons. But yeah. So let's do that. I'll make a pickups video. That should be fun. I haven't done one of those in a bit, and that should tide everybody over until hopefully the Goat Show.
Yeah.
Where we do a live, but. Yeah, honestly, and that's probably going to be about the last good size pickups video I'll be able to do for a while, because I'm just really not buying that much, unless it's more obscure stuff, or non-sport. I'm always looking for non-sport people out there. By the way, all those 1985 G.I. Joe Hasbro cards that I bought off our viewer, the Saul cards, killing it. I only have a few left. There was, I think, 600 cards in that lot. I probably have 50 left. It's been crazy. Yeah. And getting what I'm asking for them. One of the other things I really like, we haven't talked about this in a while, so I just want to shout this out real quick. This is my secret tip of the video, okay? Try to always give a little something away each video. So this is going to be it. Write this crap down. One of the things that influenced me to do more non-sport is the buyers don't make offers, they just buy at your price. Way more often than sports car buyers. Sports car buyers always want a deal. Non-sport buyers are like, $4.99 sounds good. Put it in the cart. Send it to
Yeah,
me.
you're right.
And I'll get a lot of, like, I'll have my coupon where it's buy 10 and get a deal. I'll get a ton of non-sport orders for like 9 cards. You know, they don't buy up to those discounts. I feel like non-sport buyers are just, you know, maybe it's because there aren't as many listings. I don't know what it is, but and they're just not in the sports card hobby, right? They're just collecting their non-sport cards, and they pay the asking price. I get that way more often than I do anything else. So
Max
just
here actually says
a small
bingo.
tip.
You nailed it
Oh,
there. Yeah.
oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one extra thing to think about. So if your strategy is more like me, and I think Charlie's more this way now too, as we've gone about this, I overprice a little bit on the market, knowing that I'm going to get offers, and I hit that price then. And then on sport, I don't really do that. I kind of price what I think it will sell at, more so than I would on a sports card, because you know, 8 times out of 10, I'll get the price that I'm asking for. So
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that. I don't know that I've consciously done anything different with my pricing between non-sport and sports. Maybe subconsciously I do it. I don't know.
I think Charlie needs to focus less on quotes from movies that don't matter and more on his pricing strategies for his business. What do y'all
Well,
think?
I what I can say is when I comp it, I see this store called Ad Pete that has
That's me.
sales all the time, and then I base my prices off of that plus some. So, you know, probably doing okay with it.
What's interesting is mine sells and his doesn't. So, you know, I mean, results, right? But no, there's no right or wrong. I just want to. I think some people don't realize that there is truly a difference between selling non-sport cards and sport cards. So I do think about them differently when I'm listing them, and you know, and it's a little bit easier for me, I think, to separate it out too, because I essentially have 2 different stores.
Yeah.
Now I have tons of non-sports still in my sports store. I sell some every day, and it goes down, but I still have plenty over there. So, you know, the strategy still applies, but it's more towards the newer stuff that I'm listing.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, we got to wrap it up here, my friend.
Yep. Bye. See you tomorrow. Yeah. All right. So next week, Wednesday, live, 8 Central Standard Time every Wednesday. Try to join us live if you're watching this recorded, so you can participate in the chat and have some fun with us. If you're watching recorded, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Share if you think somebody else would enjoy it. Ring the bell to be notified of any future videos, which right now is Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Those are the only videos that are coming out. But if you really want to see that pickups video that's been asked about a lot during this show, ring that bell, because you'll be notified when I upload that sucker this weekend, and you can see some cool, weird, different types of national sports card show pickups than you've seen on everybody else's videos from there. That's what I can promise you. Yeah, don't forget to join the Discord. The little links running along the bottom there. If you want to be on the Patreon and contribute to the channel, go ahead and do that as well. That link's also there. Goat Show, September 28th is the next one. Hope to see you there, or at least jump on the live and chat with us during the show. That would be awesome. We enjoy that. That's it. Anything else you want to add?
Just remember, when you see the goat, we're talking about some of the greatest of all time.
Remember, can't sell what you don't list. See y'all next week.